Hi, my name is Brittany. Welcome to my channel where I talk about a plethora of books. And I don't typically do standard book reviews, but today I'm going to do a book review. I read The Three of Us. There's a glare. I'll just put it on the screen. I read the book The Three of Us. This is one of my first books that I purchased from the library, but that is regardless and beside the point. A couple of videos ago, I did a list of some books by Black authors that I wanted to read. My main goal is seeking out books that were not based in oppression, and so I compiled a list of about 10 to 12 books, and I'll have that in the iCards above if you want to go and check out that video. But I kind of throughout the list, as I start reading the books, there are a few books that I just want to kind of do a book review on and talk about and discuss them with you. That's the point. So this is The Three of Us. This book, when I stumbled upon it, I was super excited to read it. The premise kind of sounds so interesting, and it felt like, oh, this is gonna be very dramatic and very drama filled, and I love it. 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 So I kind of want to start off. My whole point first is I'm not going to do up to complete and utter spoilers or give you a full detailed plot summary of everything that happened in this book, because I kind of want to entice you to go and read it for yourself, to come up with your own opinions and your own declarations for these books. But I still do want to talk about my thoughts in them. With this video, of course, as most of my videos, there will be timestamps. I will let you know. I'm going to start off with just giving you the general gist of the book, and then I will have segments where I kind of talk more in depth about the characters and some of the themes that happen that aren't direct spoilers. However, they are talking more towards the specific plot. And if you're interested in reading it, I don't want to ruin it for you. So there will be timestamps and all of that for you. But first, I want to talk about how the summary that the book gave us, the premise of what the book gave us. I also would not recommend going to Goodreads and reading the synopsis. I would not do that. It's very detailed to a point where it might ruin it. So I'm going to read you what's in the cover. What's on the cover? The wife has it all: a big house in a nice neighborhood, a ride or die snarking best friend, Timmy, whom with to laugh about facile men, and a devoted husband who loves her above all else, even his distaste for Timmy. On a seemingly normal day, Timmy comes over to spend a lazy afternoon with the wife, drinking wine, eating snacks, and laughing casually about the husband's shortcomings. But when the husband comes home, a series of confessions are made. The wife's two confidants are suddenly forced to jockey for the positions, throwing everyone's integrity into question, and their long drawn out territorial dance, carefully constructed over the years, into utter chaos. Told in a three taut, mesmerizing parts: the wife, the husband, the best friend, over the course of one day. The Three of Us is a subversively comical, wildly astute, and painfully compulsive triopic of domestic life that explores cultural truths, what it means to defy them, and a fine line between compromise and betrayal when it comes to ourselves and the people we're meant to love. That is the book in which they told us I was going to be reading. And I started the book off thinking, oh my goodness, it's going to be scandalous. There's going to be these multiple layers of lies and truths and convulsions and all of those things. No. So, generally speaking, the book is about a marriage. A marriage, we have a wife, a husband, and there's a third person in the marriage, Timmy, which is the best friend. She is the only named character in this book. Everybody else goes by either my husband or the husband, the wife. Is told in their perspectives in their own designated parts, but nobody else has names from my understanding, or I don't remember them. They don't say them multiple times. And we're kind of going through this whole day, as well as having flashbacks of kind of how, not how we got here, but somehow we're getting flashbacks to each character's childhood and the fundamental truth of their childhood that kind of cultivated and made them who they are, which gives us more insight with how they are acting in this book. So over the course of this book, there's just one topic that comes up over and over again between the three people, the husband, the wife, and the best friend. And it's this topic that everybody has a different viewpoint on. everybody has a different viewpoint in terms of speaking up and expressing their feelings towards it. And communal conversation, not only with it's this communal conversation that's not only happening with the husband, the wife, and the best friend, but it's also happening with their respective families, like their mother-in-laws, their mother, like it's happening with everybody. And we're kind of going through the complexities of the relationship, of like the nuances of the relationship, things that are happening, and we're kind of seeing this from a bird's eye view, but we're also seeing three different points of view, which they are like speaking in first person about their experience. And one of the issues is you kind of learn over the course of like hearing everybody's part how the character who is speaking sees themselves and how they see the other people like that's normal, but they're totally different to how the other characters see them. So, for example, this is not really a spoiler, but this is one of the things that come up. The husband's height, right? The first part is the wife speaking, and she is speaking that, and like it comes up in like as a passing comment that he is 6'2", right? When we get to the husband's perspective, he's like, oh yeah, no, like I'm tall, I'm 6'4". When it gets to the best friend Timmy's perspective, she's just like, oh yeah, no, he's not even that tall. He's only 6 foot. And it's the factor of like these small nuances. And this is just one example. These small nuances in this man's height. And everybody has a different perspective or viewpoint on them, whether it's true or not. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares how tall he is? Who honestly cares? And so we're having these nuances, but it's like that formula of everybody having a different perspective of whether what's the truth and what isn't the truth. It's like it kind of goes back to everybody's integrity is questioned, but it doesn't feel like I was questioning the character's integrity. It just feels like everybody has a different viewpoint, and sometimes it's not helpful. Like some of it, somebody's wrong, somebody's lying. I'm not going to sit here and try to figure out who. Don't want to. So that's the end for the like non-spoilers portion of the video. Let's get into a little bit, not full spoilers, but let me talk about this book a little bit more. A little bit more. One of the things, okay, so first of all, there's a character in this book. I won't say who, but there's a character in this book that is so disrespectful. And there's no way that you can slice it, dice it, maneuver it, try to make it make sense, try to appease or cultivate or make excuses for. There is a character in this book that is dead wrong. Like dead wrong for everything that they do. Dead wrong. And in such a like overtly disrespectful way. And there was these parts in the book that was really hard for, like, first of all, the book was a little hard for me to read because I don't find it wasn't like none of the book was comical. Like none of this is funny, really. I don't like, it's not funny. Like the things that happen in this book, like within this marriage, because that's kind of like the center focus of the book, is crazy. And it's crazy like in the most like realistic way, but it's crazy, but it's also crazy even if it wasn't a marriage, like, even if it was just like a regular relationship, right? Boyfriend girlfriend relationship. It would be crazy if it was just a relationship between friends. A lot of the stuff that happened in this book was incredibly toxic. It was incredibly toxic on everybody's part, on everybody's part. Um and one character's part a little bit more. Also in this book, we kind of see a semblance between the correlation with if you do not figure out and deal with and take ownership of how your childhood impacted you or cultivated you into whoever you need to be or whoever you are, you then go ahead and you project that on other people and other situations in the most degrading way possible. And there's a point in the book where something happens and somebody has instigated a conflict so much to the point where they have basically started a fire, and are like literally letting the house burn down just because they want to get what they want, right? Just because they want everybody's life to look like how they want their life to look like. But one character, I know people are just like, oh yeah, everybody's integrity is put into question. And don't get me wrong, everybody has a responsibility in terms of the state of this relationship, whether it's your best friend relationship, whether it's a husband and wife relationship, everybody has a responsibility. But there is this one character that if they were in my life, oh, immediately you gotta get out. Immediately you gotta get out. Because there's a point in which no matter what I do, you will never be happy for me if me doing what makes me happy is not in line with the vision that you see for me. So that's kind of like my consensus over the book in general. Not trying to say too much. I think you should definitely read it. It's not a long book. It's less than 200 pages. You can get through it quite quickly. I will say the book is very short, but I also feel like it could be shorter. The problem that I was having, so one, there are no chapters in this book. One, two, we're hearing, so everything's happening in one day, and we're hearing the perspective of each individual character, but I don't think I really thoroughly enjoyed the overlapping of the story. Like, for example, I don't want to hear everybody's perspective over one event. So there's no chapters. There's just parts. There's like basically just three parts that make up this book, which I didn't technically mind because it's so short. I think I would mind it if it was like a longer book. When I read the synopsis for this book, I thought that it was going to have more substance, like more meat to the conflict, more I thought it was going to be a little bit more salacious. And it wasn't that salacious. It was actually pretty realistic in terms of conflicts that you would see or hear about in like regular everyday marriages. I thought it was going to be a little crazier. That was gonna be a little crazy. It wasn't crazy. It was annoying. It was really, really annoying at some parts. I think that was the point. I think the point was to be mad because I was mad. I was mad reading. I was like rage reading because I was just like, what in the world? Oh, you got me messed up. Ah, somebody gotta go. That's my review of this book. I really urge you to read it. Go and read it. If you've read it, let me know your thoughts. Please let me know your thoughts because I just want to know if we both have the same, that one person that I don't like, that if I could drag them by their edges, I would. But they're not a real person. But like, I just want to know if we have the same person that we dislike in this book. It's really short. But yes, this is the three of us. Yes, this is the book. That is the book. Thank you guys so much for watching, and guess what? I'll see you next time.